We are in the GMT kitchen with some Cowtown Comfort food, you guys. Fort Worth is taking center stage in a new cookbook that highlights the city's treasured tastes and delicious flavors. It's called Cowtown Comfort by Fort Worth native Celestina Blok, and she's with me in the GMT kitchen to tell us more about it and give us a taste of a featured recipe that's actually in the book. Good morning.
Hey, Erin, thank you for having me. Good
so
morning.
Glad to have you. Okay, so your new cookbook, Cowtown Comfort, it's basically a love letter to Fort Worth, I feel like, especially to the Fort Worth's food scene. So what inspired you to originally write this book, and what can readers expect?
Well, I've been writing about food and restaurants in Fort Worth for a long time, and I knew that a cookbook might be in the works one day.
Yeah.
And there's not currently a book like this in existence that kind of showcases the flavors of the city from multiple chefs and restaurants.
Oh, I love that.
So it had kind of been a dream project, and we have more than 60 recipes showcasing everything from Tex-Mex, barbecue, brisket, but also some unexpected flavors as well.
I was about to say, it sounds like you're hitting it all, so it's a really good book to have in your household, especially a Texas household. Now, you have some ingredients that you've brought with us today, and so you're going to give us a little taste of what's in the book. So what are we making?
Okay, so today we're going to feature a dish called Toad in a Hole salad. It's from a restaurant called Grace in downtown Fort Worth.
Okay.
It's a fine dining restaurant, and so I'm going to start by just melting butter while we talk here, because I've got this really fancy brioche bread that we've cut a hole in. Now, you don't have to make it like a perfect circle.
I love brioche.
Yeah, brioche
so
just takes it up a notch, but you can use any bread. Like I've made this from sweet bread, like Hawaiian rolls before.
Oh, okay.
So while this is melting, what we'll do is just put this bread right in the center here.
There we go.
And let that start to sizzle. And then I'm going to crack an egg in the middle here in a moment.
Okay, can I ask you, how did you make the bread so circular? I know someone's going to ask, how do I get it like that?
So I'm cracking the egg in here now because we're going to let that egg white set a little bit. What I used a cup, like a glass.
Oh, okay.
Home, but the recipe calls for a donut cutter, and there's actually 2 recipes in the book that require a donut cutter if you really want to get like super. And this is actually a shot glass.
There you go. I was going to say, so you can either invest in a donut cutter, or you can use a glass and a shot glass that's already in your pantry. Very, very good. Now, tell me, what chapter is this recipe in?
This is in a chapter called Steakhouse and Fancy Fort Worth Dishes. Ooh. So we've got
you said it's from an elevated restaurant.
Right. Grace has been open for like 15 years, and they can do anything, but this is like by far one of their most popular dishes. Ooh. And a lot of people order it as an appetizer, or like I said, I get it as an entree as well.
Very good. Okay, so now that we've had it on, is it on medium heat, would you say?
I would say you want to have it like medium to high.
Okay.
So I can hear it getting
sizzling.
You want a toasty
like
background, like that other side will be a little toasty. But while this is toasting, I can kind of tell you a little bit more about
I was about to say, because you brought a whole slew of things, all the sweets over here that Lord knows I don't need. Tell me more.
So the book starts with Cowtown Cocktails is the first chapter, and so I've brought 3 that are featured in the book, and all of these spirits are from Fort Worth.
Okay.
La Pulga actually is a tequila that's obviously made in Mexico, but it's a Fort Worth-backed tequila. TX Whiskey is Fort Worth's first whiskey distillery.
Wow. Okay, so we've got some ties for sure.
Definitely. And so there is that's called the Boot Stitch. It's a grapefruit-based drink. Ooh. This is Blackland Distillery, and they have a salted pecan old fashioned.
And that's what this is right here.
Yes, and there's 2. There's a salted pecan bourbon, and then there's rye whiskey in there as well.
So my goodness. Let me ask you this, because this smells divine, that smells divine, everything looks delicious. My question for you is, how did you get these restaurants to share their secrets with you?
You know, the Fort Worth chef community is so just generous, and they're happy to share.
Ooh, Jesus, help the church. Oh my God, let me put that back down. Oh my gosh, it's delicious.
You just let that ice settle in a little bit.
What time is it? It's 9:10, Jesus, help. Okay, tell me more. I'm sorry, how did you get them to share with you?
The chefs, are the vast majority were more than happy to share, and they just want customers to. What I want to say is that this book showcases all the detail that goes into these recipes, but it's an approachable home version that they've shared with us here. So it's like a real treat here. I think this is almost ready to turn.
There you go. Go ahead.
You want to have like a
cute
hot,
little
hot flame on this.
Yes, indeed.
So
tell me, what is maybe
Look
your
at that.
favorite? Oh, that looks stunning.
We want to make sure that's set. So
yes, indeed.
And then when you place it on there, I'll put the truffle vinaigrette on it.
This is so gorgeous. Tell me, what's your favorite personal section in the book?
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, that's like picking a favorite child, because I literally spent almost 2 years writing this book. But I love the Tex-Mex chapter. in there is how to make flour tortillas, which my grandmother, I mean, I grew up with my grandma making that in the kitchen, and now we kind of take that for granted. You go buy store-bought. Once you try and make this recipe, it's come from Ricardo Juarez, is a restaurant in Fort Worth that makes them from scratch. Once you try it, you will not want to go back to store-bought.
Oh my goodness. Okay, basically you're giving everyone very good ideas for dinner this week. Tell me, what makes food such a powerful way to tell a city's story? Why did you really focus in on the food?
Well, in the book, I do touch on a little bit of the culinary history of Fort Worth. Like, why is it called Cowtown? Why is this book called Cowtown? Where'd that come from? That's over 100 years ago that name became. Also, where did Tex-Mex come from? Where did biscuits and gravy originate from? And so all of these cultures that came together to create this food scene in Fort Worth, we tie into the book, and it showcases the history of why the food scene is what it is today.
Oh my goodness. Well, you guys, you know I gave up carbs for Lent, so Brittany, come on over. I got my girl here again this week. She's coming to taste. Come on in, Brittany. Okay. We've got a nice vinaigrette going on there.
Nice, I am so ready because I love breakfast. So you just gave me the best breakfast idea, like on a Saturday when you just want to, you know, make yourself feel good with food.
You saw how easy that was, right? I'm sorry.
Here's a fork,
I did a little salt and pepper on
and then Celestina, while she tastes this, can you go ahead and tell us where we can find the book?
Yes. So the book is now available in bookstores. You see out the yolk. You want that runny yolk. Sorry, I have to say that because it's like a rich sauce. Okay, perfect. Now, the book is available in bookstores. However, I would love for folks to go to my Instagram page, Celestina Blok, no C in Blok, and you can order signed copies from me directly that I will send to folks. Also, our official book launch party is Friday, May 2nd at Whiskey Ranch, where they make that. And it's fun time. So
you're taking another piece.
Good. Oh, Brittany is very much enjoying it today. You can also find Celestina's Cowtown Comfort at these upcoming events that are on your screen, like she just said. Celestina, thank you so much for joining us. You have made Brittany a very happy woman this morning.
Thank you.
In the Kitchen is sponsored by Tom Thumb and Albertsons, your one-stop shop and full-service grocer.